Finally, that brings us on to debt collection. Now, within any business, we hope and believe that our clients or customers will finally make payment. But it gets to a point where it becomes very, very costly as a business to continually chase. So we have to look at considering the outside help to collect the difficult debts before they become write-offs. After all, the longer it goes on, the harder the cash is to collect, the more chance it's going to become a bad debt write-off, which ultimately no business wants to see. So what is the growing cost of you chasing these debts? Well, what areas do you have to consider? For example, you've got lost time, you've got lost sales time. If it's yourself individually, it's taking you away from your day-to-day business and chasing new work in. Lost revenue. And then you've got bad client relations because the emotion comes through in those calls that you're having to make. So potentially a customer that may come back to use you may end up not doing so because you've fallen out over a potential query that could have been resolved much earlier on. Then you've got the day-to-day bank charges and interest cost, all of which mount up to a considerable amount of money for what could just be one small debtor that you're chasing. In some cases, businesses look at passing on credit control to their bookkeepers or somebody who's good on the phone, or try to do it themselves. There is inexperience for bookkeepers because at the end of the day, they're not credit controllers. They could be the best bookkeeper in the world, but that's where their experience lies. They may feel that they can pick up the phone from time to time and they can fit it in around their other duties to phone the occasional customer and ask for payment, but not necessarily getting the right information. If it's yourself personally, you could become emotionally drawn into the argument. And again, we've already covered the difficulties that may incur. So, an independent collection agencies are without doubt the most accessible and economically effective form of third-party debt collection. Using an agency as an early line of attack on book debts makes sound commercial sense. Chosen wisely, this not only assists in improving cash flow, but also in keeping value customers. And more so, they become a lot wiser than they were before and probably won't look to default again in the future. So, as opposed to leaving it when all else has failed, it's probably better that as soon as it's outside of terms and you've sent your final demand and you've made that final chase call to pass the debts on. Thank you, and I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. If anyone's got any questions, please feel free.